So I moved into this house in June, end of June, and it is a decent sized backyard. I will attempt to do some gardening in it. I did successfully garden in my little garden patch in Korea, so might give it a try again here. The only issue is the climate is very different, and it seems like I might be needing to do a lot of work. I don't want to spend a lot of money simply because I don't think I'm going to be in this house for a very long time. So let's see if you can be stingy while gardening and still get success or not. I will have to dig into the garden to sort of create a garden bed. So by the shed there's a lot of these panels. I even see a pot all the way in the corner. So if I can use them, that would save me a lot of money. Let's see. So these panels aren't the only thing I could use. There are lots of bricks, lots of stones. I do know one place I'll have to spend a lot of money, and that is soil bags. There's no way around it. So we're gonna get started. I think I'll just use one garden bed for now. That is a lot of work. Gardening is a lot of work. Okay, so I did buy this garden claw, and I'm writing how much money I'm spending on things so that I know how much money I've invested once versus what I get. The digging did not happen in one day because I got tired, and some of the patches of soil and grass that I'm digging are going in that pot because I plan to grow mint in that pot. That pot was also in the backyard. I didn't buy it. Mint should not be grown in the ground. It can really take over. And generally with like grassy patches, mint just grows over them. So mint is a very dominant plant. So I've raised the garden bed wall, I guess, and like I haven't dug into it because that would make me lose the height. So I've just put stones to prop it up, and I'm adding these dead leaves to sort of give some to help the soil get elevated to fill the garden bed. And I still do obviously have to use the soil. So I got like 4 or 5 bags of soil. That probably was the most expensive thing. I think one bag was $15 a piece. In the garden bed. Now we're on to bag number 2. I'm gonna rinse the bag of soil in the garden bed, so whatever is on the bag also gets washed into the soil or into the bed, so less wastage. And then I got this garden digger. I'm bad with terminologies here, but my back was hurting from bending using that hand claw, so I got this shovel type thing. I think it's more of a digger. Anyways, it is much better. And then, as I mentioned, there's other stuff in the garden, so like bricks and little wooden pieces. I've used all of them to prop this up. Now, I initially made it a square, but I realized I'll need a lot more soil, so we might change the shape. And then I have these flowers, which is really good because these are great for pollination and pollinators, which means I don't have to add any pollinator plants. And I'm probably going to use that tree over there for shaded plants. We are on to another bag of soil. Thinking again, as I mentioned, changing the shape of the garden bed because it's getting too big for me. Too expensive, actually. I do have some brown paper, dried leaves, soil. And then I used bricks, so I made a little like brick garden spot under the tree for a squash plant. So bricks kind of give it a layer. And then I've used some bricks for propping the actual garden bed as well. The bricks were already in the house. I didn't have to spend any money on it. If they weren't, I would not have bought them. I would have tried to find some alternative. And this is the pot that I mentioned came with the backyard in the house. I'm going to put a mint plant in it, and I'm gonna go buy a lot more plants now. A couple of tomato plants, because usually tomatoes are easier. It's too late for me to grow things via seeds. It's actually early July by the time I got the garden bed ready. So I'm gonna buy plant saplings. And these are some of the cost: plants, the digging claw, bag of soil, a hoe, or because I needed the thing for watering the plants, and then the plants again, and then garden gloves. I got garden gloves from Korea, so I don't know. I'll put like an estimated price. And then these are materials that I got for free, which were the white panel, the bricks, the wooden container, the actual garden hose, but it didn't have the head. And then these are the plants that I was getting from stores like Ace Hardware and even like Walmart. So I did get a large tomato plant, a small tomato, cherry tomato, cucumber, butternut squash. And then like total I spent on plants was around $44. So let's do some calculation. I spent a total of $145 or $146. That doesn't seem like a lot of money, but I think for me it is a lot of money. Let's see how much I'm able to get as return on investment. So it's now September. I've been watering the plants. Well, I haven't had much luck, but now it's late September. Finally, the veggies are blooming. I did have a rabbit get into the garden, and he ate all the flowers from the squash and the cucumber plants, so those just failed. I did plant a watermelon, and that failed too. So this was the squash plant, and it just did not do well. So this was a waste of money. And then this was the cucumber, again a waste of money. This broccoli plant, it seems like the leaves had a problem. And these are the tomatoes. They've been thriving, thankfully, and I've gotten a lot of tomatoes. This is the cherry tomato. So we're gonna take a few. Why? So now we have October. I don't record every time I get like peppers or tomato, but honestly I haven't had a lot. I made the mistake of putting tomato cages after the tomato plants were already sprawling. And then, okay, well, this was the other tomato plant, so we got a few out of this one as well. Seems like it's okay, like the fruit is still there. Maybe I can let it winter. The leaves aren't doing well, so I'm gonna trim a little bit of the leaves. Oh, look. I don't know, this is like what, $2 worth of tomato? $2, $3, I guess. So I'm at a loss of like $135. The labor and physical work would be my exercise, but in the end I also got another frost cloth for $15 to cover the garden bed. I did get some seeds and I did get some seeds from the library, but it didn't seem like they did really well. But yeah.